so that I can. Okay, so we were talking of these Dashendriyas. So you would have heard of five senses, which are actually the senses of perception. These are the ear, the skin, the eye, the tongue, and the nose. Okay, these sequentially they sense one of the five elements. So the ear senses space, skin. Space actually means something in which anything can vibrate. So all vibrations are sensed, well, not all, but some vibrations are sensed by the ear. The skin senses gas, that is pressure and temperature. Eye senses heat, energy, um, and some part of the visible spectrum. Then tongue senses jala, liquids, things, chemicals that are mixed in liquid only can be sensed by tongue. And the nose smells solid matter, prithvi. So these things, some of these things may be little unique to you, but this is how, this is a whole different subject which is covered mostly in Sankhya. Uh, it is a subject by itself. So just accept it right now. Then you have pancha karmendriyas, that is senses of action. Okay, so the first among these is the power of speech, which is also provided by the tongue, but tongue is, as you know, only one part. The rest of the body can also contribute in conveying something, in communicating. However, speech is huge part of that communication. Then pani, that is hand, pada, that is foot, payu, that is excretory organs, anus, upastha, that is, these are reproductive and urinary um, outlets. So these are the five senses which we can act with. So these are the organs which are available to us for um, interacting with our environment. The other things which are there, organs inside your body, those are mostly functioning involuntarily. These are the ones on which you have voluntary control. That is why they are called karmendriyas. So here you see this Vang, which has been mentioned, that is this same power of speech. So only Vang has been mentioned from here, and from here, Karna, that Shrotra, which you read, that and Chakshu has been mentioned, and Mana from here. Mana is considered a dual sense. So it is both a Jnanendriya plus a Karmendriya. See, Karmendriya you send orders to and it acts, and Jnanendriya you receive stimuli from. These are the two separate um, ways in which these guys function. And Mana does both. It accepts the stimuli from the Jnanendriya, it processes them, hands it over to the soul. Soul decides what is to be done, gives the orders back to it, which it transmits to the Karmendriya, and the Karmendriya performs whatever has to be done. For example, you see your friend approaching from the front. You hand over this information of this person who's coming. You hand over to your mana. The mana does some internal processing, recognize that this is the person who is there, and then hands it over to the uh, Wang, and then you say, "Hello, so and so." Right? So that
Or
is.
you turn away. Or you turn away.
Sorry? Or you turn away. Okay. So anyway, so that is the way the Vang is used, through the mind. All right. Any questions on this? Okay, so I will now stop this. Okay, so just let us look at why the others have been excluded, what Anuj had pointed to. So if you see the skin, the tongue, and the nose, they give you stimuli which are not very great. Not very great. Why? See, most of the really good information which you get, high level information, is actually through speech. Okay, all spoken knowledge, which means, of course, that which you read as well, all which is communicated through words, is actually the high level language. Okay, what you communicate through your body language, or what you learn directly, even. Okay, that is very, very limited. And but what you learn through speech is like 99% of what knowledge is all about. And that is why speech is given so much importance in our text. Okay, now related with this speech is karna, because you have to hear, and chakshu also because you have to read and grasp, and then the mana, which processes all these things. So these are our main India. What you feel through your skin is of very little importance. Okay, it is very minimal in its value. What you taste, what you smell, this is of little value. Similarly, what you do with your pani, pada, payu, upastha is very, very restricted. But what you do with your speech is endless. It's almost without borders. So that is why here he has just bothered to mention these four and not even mentioned the rest, though they are implied here as well.
Uttara, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So does it mean that all living beings they communicate?
No, no, no. This is very
Speech is
specifically for human beings. Okay, most other animals don't have a well-developed language. While we say that the crows have 500 ways of communicating, just saying ah, 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 these are three say modes of communication you can count it as, but the amount that you're communicating here is very little. It's just some emotion, or some calling which you can do, which is what animals do. And so this comparison of dolphins intelligence is very comparable to human beings. This is only just people who are in love with dolphins. Okay, if dolphins were so intelligent, they would be also sending spaceships to Mars, no? So the amount of intelligence which human beings have, the amount of knowledge which their brain can support, process, utilize, further develop things out of it, is just incomparable. So this is, yes, it is very human centric, this subdivision. Mostly animals will have a subset of this. Sometimes they have some senses which are a little more than this. For example, pigeons can sense magnetic fields, which is actually a form of vayu only. Bala is there, and so it will be considered as twaka, but as I told you, it's a very long conversation in itself, so it's better that we stop that here and continue with our journey in
Or
the.
for example, bats which convert sound into vision, which is another brilliant.
Yeah, and they can manage, they sense ultrasound. Okay, so now continuing. So, Vayam etat Banam. So I wanted to tell you here, this Banam here means Sharir. For the Sanskrit students, this is a very unique usage. Typically, Bana is what everybody understands is an arrow. But as far as I could figure out, only in Prashnopanishad, Bana means Sharir.
Bana is used usually to as a vessel also. Probably that's
As a vessel, is it?
a vessel. Yeah, there is.
Okay. Okay.
That is more a Dravida sound for vessel, Bhagini, not really Sanskrit sound.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. Correct. Actually, it comes from Bana Shabde and Bana Gato. So neither of them seem to fit in with Sharir. However, that is how it has been used here. So shall we move on to the next one? Tan varishtah prana uvacha
तान् वरिष्ठः प्राण उवाच
मामोहमापद्यथाः
मामोहमापद्यताः
अहमेव एतत् पञ्चधा
अहमेव एतत् पञ्चधा
आत्मानं प्रविभज्य
आत्मानं प्रविभज्य
एतद्बाणम् अवष्टभ्य
एतत् बाणम् अवष्टभ्य
विधारयामीति
विधारयामीति
ते शब्ददधाना बभूवुः
ते श्रद्धधाना बभूवुः
बभूवुः. Okay, so Tan Varishtaha Prana Uvacha. So among those, the greatest Prana. Okay, so yes, Tripalad has now answered the third question. So the first question was which of these support the body? So all the five elements support the body. Then which of these enlighten? So those senses, the Jnanendriya and the Karmendriya plus Mana, they enlighten the body, out of which he singled out four of them and said these in particular are the ones which provide the greatest knowledge to the being. Those are the ones which enlighten. And now he has given you the answer for which of these is the greatest. And that is prana, which was not included in either of them. So this is always the beauty of these texts. If we go by our very linear way of thinking, which is very Western style of thinking, then we keep running into barriers in these texts. But for these guys, it was all everything was available. Your head could process a lot of information at the same time. So now he says that of these, the greatest prana, he says that don't be stupid. Atha apatyatha, don't fall into stupidity. Ahameva etat panchadha atmanam pravibhajya. I only have split myself into five, and with those five pranas, I only support this body.
Oh, this part he is actually talking as if prana is talking to us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Prana uvacha. Ma moham apatyatha ahameva etat panchada atmanam pravibhajya etat banam avashtapya. I support this body, banam, vidharayami, and I sustain it. Te ashrattadana bhuvo. They all these the five elements and those indriyas. They did not believe him. Ashraddadana. So that Shraddha, which I had told you earlier, that believing is the truth. So here you see it is that meaning which is there. Ashraddadana. They did not have Shraddha in what he said. They did not believe his words. Okay, so see, prana is supposed to be split into five parts. I don't want to give you too much details, otherwise everywhere we will get stuck. But the main prana, which is the inhalation and exhalation, which you are all familiar with, is actually split into five. You can look upon these as, basically we will be covering it in one more chapter, so we will cover it fully there. Just accept it that it has 5 parts. We will be covering it in detail, so you will learn a lot. In fact, the divisions of prana are given in Prashnopanishad only in such great detail.
Bhagini, here te, who are te, Ashraddha Dhana Babu, who are te? The Indriyas?
Yes, yes, yes. And actually, of the Indriyas, it is the same te prakashya abhivadanti, that is Vang Manaschakshuhu Shrotam. Those 4, really speaking. But you can take it as all as well. Okay. Clear? Oh, we are running out of time. So at this point, we have to stop because the next.
I could tell it was 3 o'clock because the hammering started near my home.
Yeah, I know. All of
This Palm Meadows has become like, my God, horrible.
construction place. Okay. So if there are no more questions, then we'll say our Shanti part. All right.
Yes.
Actually,
yes.
now you people will find it easy. You have done the big job of covering the first chapter, and we went over a lot of concepts. And now you are little familiar with the style of the Upanishad as well. So now, henceforth, the journey will be easier. As you are seeing itself today, we have managed to cover 3. So I will share the screen. ॐ श्रद्धां प्रातर्हवामहे
ॐ श्रद्धां प्रातर्हवामहे
श्रद्धां मध्यं दिनं परि
श्रद्धां मद्दिनं परि
श्रद्धां सूर्यस्य निमृचि
श्रद्धां सूर्यस्य निमृचि
श्रद्धे श्रद्धापयेह नः
श्रद्धे श्रद्धापयेह नः
ॐ
मे
Om
sorry sir
शान्ति शान्ति
Shanti,
शान्ति
Shanti,
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति
Shanti,
शान्तिः
Shanti.
क्षम्यताम्. So actually, does that actually last phrase? I should go back read your Tatparya again. Let us have Shraddha in Shraddha. Is that what it is saying?
So it is actually saying that Shraddha here is God. Okay, the ultimate truth. So, oh ultimate truth, may I have belief in you.
Okay.
May I reach a state when I can also believe in you. And of course, here the belief is to be based on my personal experience also to the extent that it can be. Okay, so not just having Shraddha in what my teacher has told me that there is a God, but may I reach a state in which I am able to directly see you and so believe in you.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a very nice one actually. You can use it while doing Havan also and in your daily Sandhya as well.